How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're doing another one of these live scouting reports that you guys seem to like. So I appreciate the likes, comments, subscribes, and we're going to be talking about Jalil Bethea, a guard going to Miami, a player I like a lot. But I have not seen this game, and shout out to Kashigi for the cut up. This is, all because of him, as usual. Go sub to him, go show him love. But anyways, let's get into this Bethea game. And his thing is his scoring. He is a true NBA pro scorer, shot maker, and that one doesn't go in, but you can just tell by the types of shots he takes that Bethea just looks like a pro in this regard already. His touch on these pull-ups is great, as I'm sure we're going to see him make some at some point in this game. His release is really high and variable. Like, he's willing to change his release point at times depending on the contests or whatever is going on here. And easy downhill. The competition doesn't seem to be remarkable in a lot of these high school games, right? So it is harder to kind of evaluate that, but it's a good challenge, I think, where, yeah, like Bethea is able to easily get to the rim and his handle doesn't need to be good there. But, I don't think that's necessarily a play that I would say translates to the next level, at least not cleanly. But, plays like this where Bethea is just pulling up from three, and he hasn't made one in this game. I was told he had 31 points in this game by the title, so we're going to see. And there's two right there, just a transition dunk. But, yeah, point being, Bethea's, movement shooting diversity is awesome, shooting off the dribble from well beyond the NBA range and stuff. And, yeah, you can just see the craft pop off the tape. Again, not great competition, but Bethea, while not being the craziest handler in the world, he does have this very herky jerky movement style where he can move his body in a bunch of quick twitch ways rather than more straight line one speed guys, which I do think is good for his driving upside, even if he's not an incredible driver at this point. And whew, that spin move was nasty. Again, we see the movement skills just jutting through a small gap. And even though this is against bad athletes, it's still a pretty small gap he's getting through. But again, I think would take the driving stuff with a grain of salt, considering that he just isn't as good as that generally against better competition. And yeah, Bethea will pull from absolutely anywhere. I'm curious to see how he and Nigel Pack play together at Miami. Both just nasty deep range shooters. And there we go. Bethea stopping on a dime. He's such an incredibly good space creator for his jumpers. He's so good at getting separation. And he doesn't always need a ton of separation to score, but so good at just using his gravity and his shot threat to open up opportunities for himself as a scorer. He's really phenomenal. Great cut right there. At least I liked him going in for the little post up there. Let's see what we got on this play. Bethea is going to snag an offensive board. Always good to see the high usage primary types in their high school settings do stuff like grabbing offensive rebounds and hustling. And I would say Bethea is generally pretty solid at the ancillary stuff. I don't think he's amazing at much of it, right? But he definitely has some real passing flashes, which maybe hopefully we'll see some in this game. But another drive here, and you can possibly see some of Bethea's limitations. He's not the burstiest guy in the whole world. Like I said, he's very sudden and kind of herky-jerky in his movement, but he's not crazy explosive, right? And he also isn't super explosive vertically all the time. He struggles to get off the ground in traffic and get high and stuff. So I do have questions about his stuff at the rim. I am confident he's going to be awesome on jumpers, but at the basket I do have some questions. And so drawing a foul there. Great stop still. Beautiful pass right there. We're gonna get passes later in this game, but man, whew, really nice. Not the craziest read or anything because the help was just zoning out, but he's gonna be able to leverage this pull-up threat into playmaking. I think that's something he's probably at least will have the chance to hone just because he's such a dynamic shot maker and he's gonna command attention there. That theoretically should allow him to develop as a passer, maybe more than some other guys would. And the burst I think is going to look better than maybe it actually is at this level of competition. But who knows? I'm excited to see that at Miami. That'll be one of my biggest questions for his offense at Miami. Is how does he look getting to the rim? Is it consistent? Is it off the dribble? Is it off the catch? Because I do think that's going to be a big determiner of his ceiling. And oh my goodness, just filthy, absolutely filthy shot maker. And his lower body mechanics are really weird. He flails his legs all over the place. Kind of reminds me of high school LaMelo and Rob Dillingham. It's that kind of shot form where it's really fast but not super tight, which seems like it honestly is totally fine given how those guys have developed. good drive downhill as well. And this is what you want to see from your top prospects in high school competition, right? And this was kind of part of my criticism of the guy like Ace Bailey. Like, it doesn't always look like a guy like Ace Bailey is dominating, right? But Jalil Bethea is fucking dominating this game. He's getting to whatever spot he wants. He's drawing fouls. He's hitting threes. Where that's how they should look, right? And I think that's honestly kind of a concern to me at times, not to like single out Ace, but just in general for prospects. If they don't look like the fucking guy at this level, then they're probably not that guy at higher levels, right? It's like a basic, simple thing, and you shouldn't over rely on an idea like that. But I do think it holds some weight, and it's, bringing back to my original point with Bethea here, is he clearly looks like, a pro playing against high school kids, right? Which I think is probably the case. Anyways, back to the actual game. We've had a bit of a lull in the moment. I feel like a color commentator when I do these videos. ESPN hire me. No, that sounds like a terrible thing. But they, a good steal. His defense is actually pretty good from what I've seen. Like, he's not super like strong, and he can definitely like get beat by quickness. But nice simple kick right there. Let's get to the passing, where he's not a crazy high volume passer. Like, he just doesn't pass a ton. And I don't think that's because he can't pass. Like, you see a really nice pass right there. Uses his weak hand to skip it to the left side corner. Like, nothing crazy in terms of bending the defense, but really nice delivery, accurate with his weak hand. Like, that's pretty good, right? Bethea, I think, is really skilled passing with both hands, and he will try some wild shit, which maybe we'll see in this game. But he's not super consistent, and I'm curious to see how his passing can improve as well, right? Because he is talented. He has passing talent. He just doesn't pass as much as a lot of other players, and understandably so, because of how good his shot is. And really nice play there. I could, actually, never mind. I was gonna nitpick and say you could pass there, but not worth it. But especially when Bethea can win off the dribble and just easily find and no look that stuff. Like, is Bethea gonna be able to, drive with ease and no look pass at Miami? Maybe not, right? But the fact that he's, that's what he's doing here. It's like, that's what, I don't know, like, imagine if like last year you threw like college Reed Shepherd, and it's like a random high school, or Rob Dillingham or whatever, back into a high school game. Like, they looked like this. Nice pass ahead by Bethea. And these guys are just, it when you see it with a lot of players like Bethea against this like high school competition. And I think it's less that it when you see it, actually, because a lot of high school stars don't work out, but more that like the inverse, right? It's like, if they're not looking good in high school, then I'm a little concerned about that. But let's get to the defense, where good possession up until the foul, where he's moving his feet really quick, laterally, fluid. Again, the thing with Bethea's movement on defense is, to me, similar to his offense. Very good changing directions, very fluid, but just not the most explosive guy in the world, or doesn't really, move mountains that way. But he does have good instincts. Again, really nice speed here as well, recovering out to that three-pointer. Who knows, again. And I think his defense, even against better competition in EYBL, is like pretty solid. It's nothing incredible at this stage, but he has enough tools, I think, to make it work. And I like him rotating at the rim here, even if he probably shouldn't have jumped on this contest. He definitely shouldn't have. I still like him making an attempt to rotate at the rim, because a lot of players don't do that, especially guards. Just like not good tech. I don't know, just not in a stance at all. Gets beat totally, but that's going to be common for high school, basically every high school star, really. And again, we see some of the movement, but he's just not finished. He's got to finish these plays, right? The defense is way too easily able to open up his hips and get by him, and that's just not going to fly at the next levels, right? But again, these are traits that tend to get ironed out. Is really nice rotation there, man. Yeah, see, Bethea's definitely got a little bit of weak side stuff, which I like. It's always a nice ceiling raiser value add for guards, because all the best guard defenders in the league are sick rim protectors, because that's the era we're in, right? Drew, Derek, Suggs, Caruso, all of them. Soon to be Thompson twins, another good stop at the point of attack. So yeah, this has been an all-around dominant game from Bethea, and not like a terrible defensive performance at all. Like, it wasn't like an amazingly standout performance, but certainly not like he got back cut there. Certainly not great by any means, but I don't think it was truly atrocious, or at least it hasn't been so far or anything. But yeah, the offense was dominant. Who big block there for Bethea, right? Like even you'll see these moments where like, is Bethea going to be able to get a block backpedaling in transition against like a college guard? Probably not. I would guess the answer to that question is no. But again, the fact that he's doing it in high school, and who knows, maybe he will be able to continue improving his athleticism and continue working on that part of his game. It's certainly something that happens. But point being, Bethea is an extremely talented player who I'm very excited to watch at Miami. He's definitely a lottery guy to me, more like late lottery range, I think, just because of some of his like playmaking and like playmaking limitations and some of the waiting and seeing on like the driving and the defense and stuff, as we kind of talked about before. But I really like Bethea. He's so freaking talented, and I think what interests me more Bethea than other great shooters in this class in the similar range, like Trey Johnson, even like Con Canopoulos. I think Bethea has these like wonky movement skills that are really like good for upside, that beget real upside oftentimes, and I'm willing to bet on that combo of those really cool movement skills with enough feel and like the sick shot making. So let me know what you think.